Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Dropping Down from the Rafters podcast here on Toned In Entertainment. Today, we've got an explosive episode. I'm probably not the only person that's ever said that to you, but I'm going to say it anyways because we got Dynamite Jackson here on Toned In Entertainment. How you doing, Dynamite?
Yes, sir. I'm doing well. Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. For those that don't know, we kind of ran into each other and met each other about 2.5 weeks ago up in North Carolina at Firestar Pro Wrestling. Got to catch you in a little battle royal action up there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was a rough one, man. I think I hit the floor a little too hard on that one, but this is we're doing okay now. We're doing okay now.
I was gonna say that. Okay, going into a battle royal versus like a regular matchup, like what preparation goes into that versus singles or tag team match?
Oh man, it's a lot more bodies, like way more bodies, in the battle royal. You gotta watch the back of your head, you gotta watch your side, you watch your peripherals, who's coming at you, who's gonna be behind you. I think I ended up taking a pop-up German in that one as well, and caught some skin off my back from that. That was kind of rough, but yeah, man, you gotta really watch your back in that one. Luckily, I had my tag partner. Now there's not a lot of people that can say they have their tag partner match with them in a battle royal or match like that. So had a little bit of backup, but it unfortunately it wasn't enough.
I was gonna say, even from a fan standpoint, it's hard to keep track of everything that's going on. I'm sitting there in the front row watching you guys, just duke it out. So I can only imagine, like, just the mental awareness it takes to make sure, one, you don't get tossed over, or two, like, who's just gonna clobber you from behind.
Dude, yeah, yeah, that part, man.
Now, you mentioned your tag team partner. Obviously, for those that don't know, it's AC Devine. We've had him here on the channel a couple weeks ago, who I met down here in Florida when he was doing the EC3 seminar down here. And since then, I've been following him. I've been following you guys.
Yes, sir.
And I know that you guys are a tag team a lot of the time. And
Yes, sir.
you've recently changed your tag team name as well, too.
Oh, yes, we have. Yes, we have. We are now Pure Temptation. Uh, we will formally be introduced as Pure Temptation this Friday at UPW Summit of Champions when we go against the Infantry from AEW.
I was going to say
We are
that.
very
Yeah, I saw the infantry in action at that Firestar Pro Wrestling.
yes,
And man, I mean, we've seen, the Captain Sean Dean on AEW, but I really like when they get to come to the indie shows because I feel like that's a lot of time where they get to have a lot of creativity and you can really see the maximum of what they can do in the ring. Because those guys super impressed me that night at that show.
oh yeah, for sure, yeah. I've especially since meeting them, I've like become way much bigger fans of them. Learned a lot from them recently as well.
Now, speaking of changing your tag team name, I know when I talked to AC, and I actually went back and found the clip this week, that when you guys ran into Teddy Long, he wanted to rename you. I believe it was the Real OGs.
Ooh,
What was your guy? I got AC's thoughts. What is your thoughts on a name like that?
first off, man, being able to get Teddy Long to like do that for us was awesome. That was so amazing. That whole WrestleCade weekend was so sick. Getting to do all those videos with those guys. The real OGs, man. I think Teddy Long was the only guy that was like, I think you guys are gonna do something good because he probably had the best name, real OGs. That was that's probably one of the best ones. I mean, we had Stepsons and the city and all these other days, but Teddy Long, he was looking out for us.
Who wanted to rename you guys the Stepsons? Because I feel like
This
I,
Lord.
I I feel like that name just doesn't work.
That's good. That was Heath and Rhino. That was Heath and
Okay,
Rhino.
well, I'm not going to argue with them though. I may not like the name, but I'm not going to argue with those guys.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He was like he has kids, we could be his kids. It was a whole thing right there. So yeah. It was yeah.
Yeah, Mosh Pit Messiah says LMFAO, the Stepsons. That sounds like a bad TV show from like the 90s, the Stepsons. Like that comes on after the Wayans brothers or something. Like I don't think that's a that's a good tag team. I don't think that's something that's really going to get you guys over. Like the
I don't think
real
a lot,
OGs, I think works better.
yeah, I don't think a lot of people are coming to see the stepsons wrestle, you
No.
know.
Now, speaking of WrestleCade weekend, okay, I was there in November as well. I had a booth and I saw where you guys were set up because you had the River City Wrestling Con guys on the backside of you, where Abdul the Butcher was, and I was like 3 booths away from them, but we never even like ran into each other or met each other at this convention because of how crazy it was. So, can you just kind of explain your experience at WrestleCade this past November?
Man, that was my first, if you can believe it, that was my first ever WrestleCade. It was so fun. Like I said, getting to meet all the man. I've only seen these guys on TV, so like get to meet and see everyone for the first time was awesome. Uh, the part of the area that we were in, that was like we were sitting over there the entire time. So like when I got to get up and like go to the other side of the room and see everyone else that was there, that was awesome. Like I said, it was a amazing experience. I'm looking forward to going back this year as well. So hopefully there's more guys I can meet, more guys I can talk to. You know, kind of get my name out there a little bit. You know.
Most definitely. It's a great place to promote. Mosh Pit Messiah says that the Stepsons is actually worse than the Ass Boys.
Wow. I think I got us on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, while I was there, I was doing some interviews and I met a couple of guys that are pretty close to you guys, the higher Upsilon Protection Agency. Uh, I met them out there, took some pictures. We've done a podcast since then. Were you guys all at the same booth area? Because they were next to Layla Gray. That's how I met them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So as you know, Upsilon Protection. They had our back that night, that whole day even. You know, they've been around us a lot. I see they've been going out doing their own thing as well. But yeah, they were with us, you know, for the start of their journey, you know, helping us out, holding us down, you know.
I
And
was
then
gonna
we
say,
had to slide them a little cash under the table, you know, for that protection.
those guys do not work for free.
Oh no, no way, man. No way. Those are some big guys, man, and they're mean. They're mean.
I was gonna say I saw a picture of Unit next to Top Dollar, AJ Francis recently, and he towers over Top Dollar. And I've interviewed Top Dollar, AJ Francis, and he's huge over me, and Unit
Yeah,
towers over him. So I guess having those guys have your back is definitely the right way to go.
man. I mean, I don't have to watch our we don't have to watch our backs when they're watching it, you know, like they can see every we there was one moment where we were looking for these guys. They were like, you know, they were doing their own thing, and we're looking for them, and like literally we can see over everyone's heads, and he's just like towering over everyone. He was like, oh, got him. He's over right there. Flag him down real quick.
And they come over. Yeah, I saw them like standing guard while you guys were doing some of your skits and stuff too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We had him watching the table and everything. They're awesome. They're amazing. I love those guys.
Yeah, I definitely think you're going to hear a lot more from them in the future. They got the size and they've got the, I guess, I hate to use the word gimmick, but the personas to really like, make a spark, make a ignite in this industry.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely think so.
Now, let's talk about underneath your name. It says the Dazzling One. So, how does one get the nickname the Dazzling One?
Man, when I first started training, I picked up on a lot of things really quickly, and I had already had my own like little flash and sauce on the things that I did. And my trainer, Michael Devine, kind of, I'm pretty sure he might have coined me with that one. I think he dubbed me the Dazzling Dynamite Jackson, I believe. So that's where
Okay.
that comes from. I remember that one of the first things I wanted to do was a drop kick. And he was like, "Well, if you can," he held out his hand. He was like, "Well, if you can come and hit my hand, then hey, I mean, you can start doing some drop kicks." And I did it first try, like you know, it was came really naturally to me. And
Okay.
ever since then, he's like, oh, okay, you want to show off? You want to show out? Okay, okay. So ever since then, been dazzling ever since.
Let's talk about showing off because when you've got your opponent in a submission maneuver, you tend to strike a pose. You're laughing, you're having a good time. I feel like not only is your opponent in like a pretzel like maneuver, but you're just at an insult to injury whenever they go back and watch this tape back about just how easy it is for you to get them where you want them.
Yeah, sometimes, hey, it's like you said, it's easy for me. It's easy for me. I like, having the ability to tie someone up and also while they're tied up, striking a pose, flexing, smiling, give a little wink. That's the sauce I like to put on it. That's the sauce I like to put on it. So yeah, I kind of find whoever's in the crowd and show off a little bit while I'm in the ring, having fun's the name of the game.
Okay. Okay, so this is 2024. So when did your pro wrestling journey begin?
Oh wow, that's a good question. Uh, um, man, it's. I think for I've been wrestling for 2 years. I think I started working 2022. I believe I started training in either 2020 or 2021. I remember I was going to Wayne Community College, and then the pandemic hit. And when the classes went online, it like got way too difficult for me. I couldn't keep up. Like I didn't have like easy access to like the internet so I can get to my classes. So I was done with school, and then I started looking into wrestling schools. The first one I found was Firestar, but I live in Goldsboro, and that's way in Greensboro, and that's a 2 hour drive. If I wanted to make that, that's a 2 hour drive. Second one was AML Future Stars, also a 2 hour drive. That's also in Greensboro, Winston-Salem area. So I was like, man. Then my dad, he knew a guy by the name of Chili Willie. You might know him from ECW. Uh, so Chili Willie knew a guy, Dan Wright. Dan Wright uh, uh, had a wrestling school, the Fracture Factory, where AC trained Michael Devine was a trainer at. So I went over there, had a tryout in front of Dan. Like I said, I picked up on things easily. I probably had the quickest. I probably had the quickest tryout of all the guys that had probably come in there. Uh, but yeah, that's when I started. And I believe that might have been 2021, if I'm not mistaken, since the pandemic was 2020. So like that was probably going into the next year, 2021.
Okay. Now, you said that, you went in and you did a drop kick or whatever. Was that like the first move that you wanted to do literally? Because like for me, I think like if I was ever to train, like I would want to stinger splash somebody, right? Like that's always like I just want to stinger splash one person. I think I'll be happy for the rest of my life. But was like the drop kick the first move that I think we all have that mentality. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do this move or that move. Was the drop kick the first move or was there something else?
I think I always had like an idea of what I wanted to do. Like I do a lot of high flying, so that was kind of like the style I wanted to go with when I started wrestling. So it might have been because during training we learned, the basics, body slam, lock up, headlock, the basic stuff. And then one day I was like, well, I know this now. We've been doing this for a couple weeks. So I want to try this drop kick. And I think uh, a lot of people going into wrestling, even if you're not wrestling, there, like you said, there is just that one move that you want to try. I wrestled a lot, like with my cousins and like my siblings and things, like when I was younger. So like it may have not been the safest for us, but I mean we already did these things like prior, so I had like a tiny bit of experience. So going into it, I was like, I want to try the drop kick. Try that's I think that might have been something that I probably didn't do when I was younger. So I wanted to try that one,
Okay.
get under my belt.
All right. So you do singles wrestling, you do tag team wrestling. Which one is more your forte?
Ooh, that's a good question. Man, primarily I do tag wrestling. I've had maybe I can probably count the amount of singles matches on both my hands. But
Yeah, it's hard to find singles matches of you, to be honest. When I start YouTubing you, like it's a lot of tag
yeah,
team matches. Yeah.
um, I have to say, getting a breather in the tag match, tagging in and out. I think that might be a little better. I'm gonna have to say, getting a little breath, getting to watch sometimes is always good. I would definitely have to say tag team. I think I'm a tag team specialist at this point in my career. You know.
I absolutely agree. Like, and I just love the chemistry with you and AC. I think both of you not only bring something special to the table, but you complement each other very well. You know, he's got a little bit more raw power, but you've got the bit more technical aspects and the bit more high flying. But you both can both do it both. I mean, I should say, you can
Oh yeah.
both do both styles. I should say, yeah.
Oh yeah. I like to call myself Little Papa Pump because I'm kind of short in stature, but I'm a little kind of beefy. I'm kind of beefy, you know, trying to put on a little bit more muscle.
Okay.
And hey, C ain't afraid to fly either, man. You see him
No,
doing moonsaults and dive into the outside and all that other stuff, man. You know, he's a jack of all trades as well.
I was gonna say he's got a lot of natural athletic ability. I just see him just leap over the ropes and just the way he can move and the way you can move. And I definitely think there's a lot in store for you guys in the tag team world of professional wrestling moving forward. That's
I
for
think
sure.
oh yeah.
Now, when you started training and got into the ring, you started taking those bumps. Did you ever say to yourself, what did I get myself into? Was there ever any of those moments?
Mm, no, I don't think so. There was one point where I was like, I had to kind of I had to kind of, you know, fix my personal life. I had some things I had to deal with, so I had to step back just a little bit. But I don't think there was ever a point where I was like, I don't think I want to do this because I think my entire life I've always wanted to do this.
Okay. And like you said, it did come pretty natural to you, so
Yeah, right,
it
right.
was a difficult thing to pick up and get you where you guys are today.
Oh yeah, I'm very willing. Like I wanted to do frog splashes. I wanted to do the top rope moves. I wanted to do springboard moves. Like I'm very I want to give it my I want to leave it all in the ring every time. So I'm very willing to put my body on the line because just for the love of the business, for the love of the game, you know.
What move gives you the most adrenaline rush when you do it?
Mm, I've got to say, man, that's a man. You're giving me some good questions. I don't think everyone's ever asked me these questions like these, man. Uh, I've got to say the dazzling star press. It's what I call my shooting star press. Dazzling star press is probably gives me the most adrenaline. I might, I don't know yet, but I might be pulling out something new this Friday for all the people in attendance, for everyone coming to buy a ticket to see us. And you know, I might be pulling out something special. You know, I want to show the inventory what we got. So thinking maybe I don't know yet, but it may be another dazzling star press, and maybe you know a little something else. But we got to see. We got to see. But definitely the shooter, definitely the shooting star press.
Okay, I was gonna say after watching the infantry, like you got to pull out all stops against those guys because I mean, legit, like man, I had a lot of fun watching them at Firestar Pro Wrestling a couple weeks ago. I believe it was the main event that they were in. Every match was solid at that show. Let me tell you, from start to finish, man. I had brought one of my friends. He came with us to watch Sting's final match, and he had never been to an indie show. He lives down here with Miami. I beg him to go to the local shows and he just either can't make it or doesn't go. And I'm like, you got to come to an indie show. And he said after your guys' show, he's like, okay, that show was awesome. He's like, it was legit good. And let me give you guys and gals also a lot of credit. Like you guys pulled it out at Firestar Pro Wrestling, that's for sure.
Yeah, I got to shout out Kozone, man. He's the head trainer at Firestar, man.
Yeah.
He is. I don't know what they're feeding those kids, what he's feeding those guys and girls over there, man. But they're awesome. They're always it's always a pleasure to go train with them, especially going to their shows because, like you said, man, they put it all out there. They put it all out there. Second, how you said your friend hasn't gone to an indie show. North Carolina, in my opinion, has the best indie scene, at least in North America. I've been to a couple of states. I haven't been to everywhere, but at least where I've seen, North Carolina's got the best indie scene. So this was a great this is a great show to bring it to.
Yeah, when I had AC on the show, I had him on a couple weeks before I was going to North Carolina, and I think he said at the time he had another booking. I think it was in South Carolina that weekend or somewhere else. It wasn't going to be in Winston Salem because I was looking for a show to go to that weekend. And what got me to go to that show was another guy that you're familiar with, who I've also had on the channel, is Blade Brown. He
Oh,
was supposed to be on the show, but unfortunately, I know he got injured the night before at another show. But I know you've had some interactions with Blade Brown as well too. Uh, as far as I know, AC is still winless against Blade Brown. But what about your status with Blade Brown?
oh wow. I think we've only been in one match together, I believe. It was ACW, Alternative Combat Wrestling. Uh, it was at the can't remember what fair it was, but it was at a fair, and it was a triple threat. It was me, Blade Brown, and Sean Cruz, and that is probably the I believe it's the only triple threat I've been in, but it was really really fun. It was so fun. I really enjoyed being in there. I think that was the first time. That was the first time I faced both those guys. It might be the only time I faced both those guys. Uh, but yeah, that match was really awesome. Blade and Sean, for this matter, are both incredible athletes and wrestlers. Um, Sean, well, and Blade, both these guys, I keep up with them, but Sean always helps me, gives me advice all the time. Blade is coming up just like us, man. He's injured right now, but I know he's gonna bounce back stronger than ever. You see him, he's big, he's massive, the alpha dog. He's gonna come back, do his thing. I've got, you got big high hopes on us. I've got high hopes on him, man. He's got like main event. He's got the whole package, man. He's got the whole package. He's got the charisma. He's got the body. He's awesome. I can't wait what he does in like five, in fact, 3 years. Shorter than that.
Yeah, because I saw him and AC at the same seminar, and that's how I got introduced to both of them. And he starts barking in the ring and does his practice match, and I'm like, man, this dude's got it. AC's got it, and I'm glad I got to see you in action as well too. For people that don't know, I actually, well, probably nobody really knows, but how we actually met was I came over to your guys' booth, and I was talking to
Yes.
AC that night, just kind of catching up. And let me tell you, man, I appreciate somebody who wants to market themselves and promote themselves because you came over. I know I bought an 8x10 off of you because you were marketing yourself to me. I'm like, okay, I got to have something from you guys.
Yes.
So I just want to give you a little bit of props about, I know how difficult it is to put yourself out there. And you came over to me and like start talking with me, and I ended up buying merchandise from you. So whatever you're doing, it's obviously working.
Thank you. And outside of wrestling, I'm not that outgoing, but like when I get to put on a different mask and be something else, like it gets a little bit easier because it's not it's me, but it's not really me, So I get to present kind of like you said, like market myself, like I'm trying to sell you. I need to sell you something, I need to sell you something. So I mean, I can't just stand over here in the corner, I need to get out there, what I mean?
Which you did, which I want to give you props for. What would you say is the biggest difference between Dynamite Jackson before he enters the curtain and the one you see come through the curtain? Is it the energy level?
Definitely energy level. As you can see now, I'm kind of mellow and not jumping all over the place. But once I get in the ring and once I step through the curtain, when I see the people, side note, there's this I need to get his name. There's this one kid. He comes to see us all the time. He came and saw us Saturday at Next Level, and I was like I didn't even see him before, but when I stepped out the curtain and we're making an entrance, and I looked over to my right and I seen him, I was like, oh my god, he lit, he made my whole entire night. Like, oh man, like when I stepped through the curtain, it's a whole different person. But yeah, like Outside, I'm just a mellow and chill. Not really that outgoing. But yeah, Dynamite. He's all over the place though. He's all.
Yeah, Dynamite is a very explosive individual for sure. Now you said about the young kid, you come through the curtain. So, as I go to different shows here in Florida, there are obviously different promotions as well too. And I've noticed that a lot of wrestlers do gain their own following, that people chant out certain words or certain phrases every time they see them. So a lot of people do go to shows just because of maybe even one person. I've literally heard somebody in the crowd say, "Oh, I came here because XYZ is on the show tonight." So how does that make you feel when you see fans maybe traveling from show to show to come and watch you guys?
It's a that's such an awesome feeling. Like when I first got into wrestling, it was because I obviously I watched wrestling and I wanted to give people the same feeling that I got from watching wrestling. So to know that even if it's only one person, if I have one fan, that will it will completely if I'm having a bad day, it'll turn my entire day around. Like that's such an amazing feeling. The kid that we see every time. There's a couple other guys that we see a lot. There's a I just saw someone today who recognized me in a Target,
Oh,
so that
shoot.
was
Okay.
and he said I told him about the show Friday. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come through. I'm gonna come through. So that's such an amazing feeling that I'm able to do something that I love. I'm good at it, so people want to come see me be good at it. People want the best for me. People want to come see. Uh, it's such an amazing feeling. When you get a job that you love, you never work a day in your life. So I never feel like I'm doing anything out of something that I don't want to do. I'm loving that I get to do something that I love. People enjoy it, and I'm not. It's not like I'm doing a chore. I love this. I love this. I love that people show love. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Now you said you want to give people those amazing experiences like that you experienced as a child. And the name of my podcast is the Dropping Down from the Rafters podcast, which definitely pays homage to my favorite moments in professional wrestling was when Sting would drop from the rafters, take on the NWO. The crowd, if you watch those clips completely, there's nothing like it. They lose their mind. It was such an amazing time. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about those moments right now. So for me, that's my moment. What are some of those moments to you that just, if somebody says, those amazing moments that you would like to recreate or that inspired you, what are yours?
Oh man, a moments. Ooh, mm, man, that's man. You put me on the spot, man. You put me on the
Okay.
spot. Uh, something.
Like what match
Ooh,
comes to your mind that if it's like, oh man, what's your favorite match of all time? I hate to ask generic questions like that, but
uh,
just the match that really just stands out for you or the moment.
it- for me, and it's fairly recent. Uh, it comes from the Cruiserweight Classic. Me being a smaller guy, like I was all in on this. Some of my favorite wrestlers are Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, Rey Mysterio, Ultimo Dragon. So when I got to see this Cruiserweight Classic and see all these guys all around the world competing, it was really, really cool. But the one match that it almost lit a fire under me. Like I was like, man, I want to bring this energy. I want to bring this emotion. Was Cedric Alexander versus Kota Ibushi, and I believe this was the first Cruiserweight Classic. And just the energy in the crowd, the impact in the match, just and even after, I believe Cedric lost, but there's like they loved him so much because like just what he gave that match to me, like that is wrestling. That is wrestling when two guys go out there and just give it their all Man, I'm getting goosebumps now. Like, that match for me is like just so amazing. It was hard hitting, uh, fast paced. Oh man, that was good. That one for me is probably the match that was like, okay, I know for sure, like I have to do this.
Now, you said a few moments ago that, if you do something you love, you never work a day in your life. So, how difficult is it to make professional wrestling your job?
Mm, man, that is the end goal. I would love to be full time professional wrestler. uh, but man, I think I can't speak for everyone, but I would say I believe it's a lot easier now than it would have been maybe 10 years ago, or just uh any time before now. Just because of the landscape, there's so many options. I think if you really put your all into it and invest a lot of time and effort into doing this, and also if you love it, uh then I think being full time is something that someone could do uh fairly quickly, fairly quickly. I think, like I said, there's a lot of different avenues now. I mean, you got the top dogs, WWE, AEW, NWA, but I mean, there's also the independent promotions that you could pretty much be full time to. I mean, uh, I definitely think it's, like I said, it's easier now than it would have been a couple years ago. So it's just all up to you. It's all up to the effort and commitment you're willing to give.
What would you say is the biggest lesson that you've learned about yourself on your professional wrestling journey?
Hmm. Um, Man, I will say I have learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about other people as well. If I had to take one thing that kind of sticks out to me is you never know you can do something until you try. You never know if you can do something until you try. Once you try and you see how easy or difficult it may be, then you'll have your answer. But until you try, you're just not gonna know.
Now, outside of being a professional wrestler and being little Papa Pump, always in the gym working out and getting swole, in your free time, what is Dynamite Jackson doing for fun?
Oh man, not a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a super social person. Okay, I like to hang out with some friends. So, keyword on some, not a lot, just a couple people here and there. Um, Other than that, I like to stay home. I have a lovely girlfriend. I spend my most of my time with her. Um, I like to play video games. I'm really into like superheroes, so like I've probably seen every Marvel movie. Uh, uh, let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I like to watch a lot of television and movies and things like that. It's not really too much to me. A really simple guy. A really simple guy.
And I was actually going to ask the same question, but I'll ask you from Mosh Pit Messiahs because he is a Twitch streamer. So, what video games are you throwing down there, Dynamite?
Ooh, okay. Uh, there's one I really like right now. It's called The Finals. It's a shooter game. Uh, I sometimes play a little GTA. Um, I love the new Spider-Man game, Spider-Man 2. I'm real big on single player games. The Batman games, I believe the Arkham Knights, I think. I love that one. Mortal Kombat. Uh, let's see. Sometimes play Rainbow Six Siege. Not very good at it, but I like to sometimes play with my friends. Uh, I
That one
think,
takes a lot of like patience to play, which is not
yeah,
my forte. Yeah.
yeah, not a big patience guy, not a big patience guy. But I think those are probably the big ones I play. I play a lot. There's a lot of games I play, but those are probably the ones I'm on the most.
Isn't it crazy that after all these years and like 3 consoles later, we're still playing the same Grand Theft Auto game?
Yeah.
They've had us buy it like 3 times already.
Oh man, like I remember when GTA 5 first came out. Like
On the
that.
360, I bought it. Yeah, now we're yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. Ugh, I don't even want to think about that anymore.
No, he says Moshpit Messiah says the finals game is crazy. I've never heard of it. What is the finals game?
It is crazy. It's like I said, it's a shooting game. It's kind of think of Call of Duty, but it's a lot more like destruction. Like you can like destroy an entire building if you wanted to.
Okay.
There's a lot of like different gadgets and like things you can use. Man, I don't know. Like you really have to like see it to like
Okay.
really understand. You know.
Okay.
Uh,
It's a game I'm gonna check out because I like, I don't have much free time. So like for me, like, whenever Call of Duty is actually like free, I'll play it for like the weekend that they put it out. I'm like not buying it for the 27th time again, but I don't mind jumping in and playing it for like a weekend.
right.
It kind of holds my attention span, that and Overwatch, and I'm a big Street Fighter player myself. So like that's kind of like stuff that I could just jump in, play for like a half an hour, and then move on with my day. That's all we got time for nowadays. It's grown up stuff, right?
It's busy, busy, man. Especially this wrestling business, man. Busy, busy, busy.
I was gonna say, how do you keep up your energy level? Because I know you said, it's 2 hours to Greensboro or to Winston-Salem where we saw you guys at that night. So obviously you're on the road, probably traveling a lot. What are your secrets to keeping up that energy level?
Brother, there is no secret, man.
There's no
you
secrets.
just you just gotta grab an energy drink, grab a coffee, and you just gotta go. I mean, there's not really anything to it. I mean, maybe having friends on the road with you probably definitely helps, but it's not really a lot that you can really do. I mean, uh, yeah, I mean, just get in the gas station, grab an energy drink, grab a coffee, and get on the go, man. I mean, that's it. That's really it.
Okay, well, I'm trying to get a sponsorship. I'm sure you're trying to get a sponsorship. So we'll put it out there. Monster's definitely my energy drink of choice. What is your energy drink of choice, Dynamite?
Uh, when I was in school, it was Bang. It was Bang
Okay.
because I was so bad at doing my homework. So like I went to the computer lab and I drank a Bang and I just finished it all there because I knew if I went home, it was not getting done. So Bang for a long time was like the one that was like, okay, I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna go. But recently I've been doing C4s. I love the Starburst flavor.
Yeah, those are
Uh,
good. Those are dangerous. I can't buy them. I'll drink them all the time.
that one is definitely it. Ghost as well. I think that's probably my top three. It's the Ghost, the Bang, and the C4. Those are my go-tos.
I was gonna say when the pandemic ended, it felt like everybody, like literally every wrestler was drinking Bang energy drink at one point. Like everybody had a Bang. Now I see them nowhere. Like nobody has them anymore, and everybody's gone and does other drinks on top of that. I feel like Bang is kind of like I see them at like the Dollar Tree now, like in the discount
Yeah,
section. Like I don't know. I think that's something. Maybe that's a story for another day. But I feel like Bang has kind of disappeared. So if they want to advertise with us, maybe we'll start drinking them
oh
again.
yeah. I mean,
Right,
I'll bring it back.
right.
I'll wear all the merch you want, man. I'll bring banks out.
Let's do
I'll bring
it.
out everything.
Moshpit says they took Bang off the shelves. He said they went bankrupt. I did
Oh
not
wow.
realize that. Okay,
No,
well, we learned something
I love.
because I literally saw them at like the Dollar Tree like 2 weeks ago, like on the section. So I guess it's like from the warehouse or something because I don't see them in the store at all.
Wow, that sucks. Man, like that was my drink. That was my drink.
Right. Yeah, it's like for me, like it actually kind of gave me like a little bit of a headache, and I don't know. I'm a monster guy. I feel like the orange cream gets me going, but I do like the Starburst one. But like I said, I can't buy it. I'll drink it all the time. We do have a question in here from Cherry Bombs, and this is a great question. How do you bring your energy level down after a match? Every time I go watch wrestling, I get so hyped up that it's difficult to sleep and I'm not even wrestling?
Oh man, that's a good question. Man, and when you're out there and there's a lot of people looking at you and you're doing a whole bunch of moves, it's a lot of adrenaline going through you. So even if you are off of a energy drink, the adrenaline going out there alone is probably going to keep you up for hours and hours. I really don't know. I mean, maybe eating maybe a hearty meal might, bring that. I think that what gets me every time. Probably going somewhere and eating something probably brings the energy a little bit lower, makes me a little tired. Um, Man, I don't really know. I mean, and kind of just like sit, just sit and like calm myself down and try to like just relax myself.
Yeah, because I know after these shows, man, like literally, like, I just did one this past Saturday down here in Miami, and you do the interviews, you watch the wrestling, you're so into it, you're so hyped up, and I'm like Cherry Bomb said, I'm like, I can't even go to sleep at night. I'm too excited. Even after your guys' show, man, it was an adrenaline filled rush. So it's like, yeah, I just don't know how you guys are actually able to come down after performing and stuff like that. But a hearty meal, I think, is the
Oh
secret
yeah,
to your success. Okay.
go to Applebee's and get like a big fat bacon burger. That's it. That's it right there.
Okay. It's on my list officially, bacon cheeseburger after every wrestling show. It
Oh
won't
yeah,
be
yeah.
hard. That won't be a hard commitment to do. That's for sure. Well, Dynamite, what cool stuff? I mean, I know you got a big show this Friday. Any other cool stuff you have coming in the future? Anything? Are you guys going up to Philadelphia for Mania weekend? Are you staying local? What's going on?
No, unfortunately, I wasn't. I was invited, but I don't think I'll be able to make it to Philly. I would love to. Oh my God, I would love to, but I don't think I can do it this year.
Okay.
Um, let's see. This Friday will be UPW, the Durham Armory. Come out, come out, come out, please. Go to the UPW online, upwonline.net, and use code PURE to save on some tickets. Go there, get your tickets, use code PURE. Uh, I believe in April we will be. Man, I don't have it down anywhere with me, but man, we will be in West Virginia on the 28th. I know that for sure. We will be in at ESW on the 6th of April. That will be in. I'm blanking on everything right now. I'm so bad at this.
That's okay.
Uh,
Well, where can people follow you on social media so when they see those flyers posted, that
okay.
all the information's there?
Dynamite Jackson on Instagram, Damian Jackson on Facebook, Dynamite 919 is my Twitter, my TikTok, Dynamite Jackson. But yeah, go to my Instagram, Dynamite Jackson, and I know for a fact it's my last post. Everywhere I'm gonna be at the next couple weeks is there. Go check it out. Go get your tickets. Come see us. Uh, yeah, I think that's all of them.
Mosh Pit Messiah says drive through hits different after a great wrestling show. That's for sure.
You know, there's a thing we say is you'll always find a wrestler after a show at the nearest sheets. You'll always find it. You always find them. The sheets is like the spot. You get your gas for going on the road. You get your food. It's always hot and always amazing. Uh yeah, sheets is like the go-to. Sheets is the go-to.
Okay. I think it's kind of like our Wawa then. It's like everything like all in one spot. Get everything you need right there. Well, Dynamite, while we have you here, is there anything else that you want to touch on that maybe I haven't asked you?
Mm, mm. I don't believe so. Uh I do want to say one thing to the people. One thing to the people. Uh, just keep going. Keep going. Whatever you're doing, please do not stop. Keep going. You don't know how close you could be. Just keep going.
I love, yeah, that's great words of wisdom and definitely advice that we can use in all of our lives, right? Yeah. Just never know when that one break is going to come, right? That's all you need is one break.
Yes, sir.
Well, Dynamite, thank you so much for taking time out of your night for joining me here on Toned In Entertainment tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure. It was an honor.
Absolutely. And, keep doing your things in single action. Keep doing your things with AC Devine as well, because I know for sure that, like, you guys are killing it on the tag team scene. I really enjoyed that. I got to watch you wrestle in person a couple weeks ago in North Carolina. We could do the sit-down interview today. Definitely my honor. And, man, I can't wait to see what big things are in the future for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, make sure you're following Dynamite Jackson on his pro wrestling journey. Follow him on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all those good places, and watch all those matches on YouTube as well. And if you're in his area, definitely, please go out and check out his show. You're not going to regret it. At least his match. I can't speak for everybody else, but at least Dynamite Jackson's match, you're not going to regret that one.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely. All right, guys. If you like interviews, podcasts like this, guys, make sure you hit that red subscribe button so you can stay tuned in here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.